Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine and I'm back to review another episode of CBS's Big Brother Season 18, episode number 31, so let's just get down to it. In case you missed my Big Brother POV that I recorded around 7 o'clock tonight, and I basically uploaded it around like 8 o'clock. Victor and Paul hatched a plan to make Natalie, James, and Michelle think that Paul was working with Nicole and Corey. All of a sudden, when I popped up on the feeds, this argument broke out between Paul and Natalie and James, and basically Natalie's target on her back is huge right now. Natalie and Michelle want Corey out of the house because they think that Paul will retaliate against them and James and vote out Victor because he's allegedly with them. Now, after seeing that, am I surprised that James decided to vote Victor out of the house? Heck no, because even after that argument with Paul, even after everything that Paul said, James still remains stagnant on his choice of wanting to vote out Victor. On a side note, something happened on the feeds last night where James and Nicole were discussing some type of deal involving $10,000, whereas if one of them wins, they'll give the other $10,000. So clearly they came into the house with an alliance. So that is one main reason why James is sticking to the plan, despite the fact that Big Brother basically told both of them last night, stop talking about it, and making deals like that is against the rules in Big Brother. So I don't know how this is going to be handled, but I've been side-eyeing James even more after hearing about that. Victor didn't feel optimistic about the vote because it came down to James, and we all know how James is when things come down to him. When the pressure is on, James doesn't make a big move. Corey wanted Paul to be rattled before the HOH competition so he wouldn't win. Paul has become weary of James and Natalie, and they said the plan should be to send Corey home, but then James and Natalie are sitting outside chatting with Nicole and Corey, and when Victor came out to check on his laundry, everybody went silent outside. So Paul's upset, and Victor says, listen, if it's my time to go, fine, but I'm going to fight till the end. Victor wants to talk to James. Paul knows that this past week was meant to mess with one of them and get one of them out of the house. So this is when they hatched that plan where Paul says that he will buddy up with Nicole and Corey and make it seem like he's working with them, whereas Victor can go to Michelle, Natalie, and James and basically throw Paul under the bus. James and Natalie essentially see Paul with Nicole and Corey, and this is the way that Victor is able to maneuver himself into their inner circle and try to make a deal and stay. Well, at least I thought he was going to be able to stay, but again, it all came down to James, and James decided to go with his alliance. So Victor tells Natalie, Michelle, and James that Paul was avoiding him and he claimed he wasn't feeling well, and they fall for it hook, line, and sinker. They basically say that Paul is shady for not helping Victor, and James says he sees Victor and Paul as a pair. Victor says that if he goes, Michelle, James, and Natalie are going to be screwed because Nicole and Corey are going to come after them. They pretty much are going to do that, but James really can't see that. Michelle, James, and Natalie say they consider Victor an ally. Victor agrees that if he stays, he will win HOH and take out Paul. I don't believe that at all. Those two are obviously thick as thieves. So, what did you all think of the Jury House segment, the first one? I thought that it was awesome. Big Brother did not disappoint. It reminded me of the early years of Big Brother. Everybody was talking trash, and that is what I miss the most when it comes to this game. It did not disappoint at all. The girls appear to be getting along very well, and they all agree that if Paulie comes into the house, they're okay with that. And Davon was hilarious throughout the entire segment. Bridget and Davon were super happy that Paulie entered the jury house, and Zakiya was just rolling her eyes at Paulie. Zakiya says she feels great. She doesn't want Paulie around her, and I'm so happy that she is not giving him the time of day, because when she gets home and she sees those segments that include everything nasty that he said about her, she'll be happy that she made that decision. Davon says she's happy that Paulie found his identity and he no longer looks like Paul. Paulie tries to save face. Davon's right. He was salty and he definitely needed some pepper to go with that salt. Zakiya said she's okay that Paulie was evicted from the Big Brother house. Paulie is mad. He's calling the girls bitter and catty, but I feel like he's deflecting because he's the one that's bitter and he was the one that was very catty in the Big Brother house. It's funny how he kept calling the girls catty. Anyway, Davon threw some major shade. Bridget said that Paulie had a cocky giant ego. Paulie did not respect the women, so Bridget did not respect him. Paulie's like, let's just let bygones be bygones. And Zakiya was like, I see where the B word is and the loser is, and I was here for it. Man, I wish that Zakiya had been in the Big Brother house, because she would have read Paulie and I would have been here for him, because he was not a happy camper at all in that segment. That is the Big Brother I remember from years ago. Thank you so much, CBS and Big Brother, for that little segment. I wish that we could have more of those. So as far as the live vote is concerned, it's Victor against Corey. They both made their speeches. Victor said that he trusts and protects the people that he is working with, and he's loyal. And Corey said that he is loyal and playing an honest game, which I don't know how you can play an honest game in Big Brother, a game that's basically built upon lies and deception. But I mean, hey, whatever helps you sleep at night. So the vote came down to 2-1. Nicole voted for Victor. James obviously voted for Victor. And Paul voted for Corey. So right before Victor left the house, Michelle whispered to him that there was a possible buyback competition. Once Victor was gone, James said something about it just being a game, and then looked at Paul, and I was just like, I hope that Paul wins HOH if Victor doesn't win that buyback. The major thing that I took from Victor's interview with Julie Chen was that Victor, to be honest, had no regrets in the game, but he said that he thought that Paul was going to be in trouble now that he was alone, given the fact that Victor was voted out of the house and sent to jury. Victor said that he wants James to be the next person out of the game and wants Paul to get as far as he can in the end. During the goodbye messages, Michelle said she felt awful about Victor being voted out and it should be Paul. James said that he was sorry and that it was a game move and it wasn't personal, but I wonder how he would feel if it was him being voted out. Paul said he tried to keep his friends safe, and he did. And Natalie said that Paul was her target. So Victor learned that there was a buyback competition and he would have another chance to return to the game, and he seemed super happy. Now, Big Brother blessed us with a second jury segment. Thank you so much, CBS and Big Brother. Paulie claimed that he had a warm welcome that weekend and that he learned about his feminine side. Zakiya said she's away from Paulie. She doesn't want anything to do with him. And Paulie is just like, well, you know, I feel a certain way inside, but I'm going to have to respect the fact that she doesn't want anything to do with me. Of course not. Not after the way that he treated her. He didn't save her with the veto. And once she sees all that stuff that he said on the feeds, I mean, even if she doesn't get a chance to see the feeds, if she gets to see the different clips, she's really going to be happy that she 86'd him. All the jurors agree that they do not want Vic to be a part of this buyback. Well, it is what it is. So it's game time, and I'm just like, why did Paulie have to wear those short shorts? He reminded me of Deputy Dangle from Reno 911. I love that show. I've seen every season. That's one of my favorite shows. And Thomas, who I think that's the actor's name, who played the part of Deputy Dangle, he's now on CBS's Odd Couple with Yvette Nicole Brown. So weird to see him without his little shorts. But anyway, back to Big Brother. So the jurors learn that Victor is the 5th juror, and he's going to be a part of this battle back, and they are super excited. And then the house learned about the battle back, and Natalie and James did not look happy about this new development at all. So all 5 members of the jury will essentially battle the 3 members of the house that can compete, because Natalie and Michelle can't compete, obviously, because they were HOH this week. Everyone is super excited to see one another, and thus begins the competition. Well, guys, that's about it. I'm Sage Valentine signing off. I know that before the feeds went dark, there were 3 people left. I do know which jury member is returning, and as always, I promise, no spoilers. But definitely leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought of tonight's episode. Who you think will win HOH, which jury member will return, and who do you think will be nominated, and what your thoughts were in regards to tonight's episode and the jury segments. I love you guys. I will be back to review Sunday's episode on Monday as always. Bye guys. I love you all. Bye.